T'aurais préféré que je cite Adrien?
Coach Colin here, coolest high performance coach in the world. And if you want the absolute best breakdowns to the podcasts and videos you love, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Apparently, France is on fire. Now, how did I figure that out? Well, somebody literally put out a tweet saying that Paris is on fire. The French people have had enough of the WEF BS. And then they led to this video. Wild stuff happening, man. Trigger warning for some. Wild. So, when I first saw that tweet, obviously right away from Dr. Anastasia, thank you so much, Dr. Anastasia. When I first saw this tweet, I was like, what is going on in France? So I decided to start digging, and I just started where I saw the tweet, right? So I just jumped into her thread, and I just asked, can you tell me what's happening? Now, I didn't say it to her. I said it to this woman here because she seemed like she liked to talk a lot. She was kind of giving people shit in the comment section. So right away, I asked her, and she said this, and she showed me this image of a young man getting hit, batons, regular protest stuff, unfortunately regular. So I decided to actually click through on this and actually get the translation. What's going on? Is this policing? These bullies are taking it out on a downed kid. They are crazy. Macron is crazy. It is now necessary that all parties, union, NGOs, embassies, and other officials condemn what is happening in France and what the Macronist madness needs to stop. I was like, okay, now I'm always somebody where I don't give in. I don't give in to fear mongering. If somebody's fear mongering, I have no part in it. So I always look a little deeper. I don't just take in wild imagery and just go, oh, something crazy's happening. I have to know more. So we go back. Right? Then she actually says something. She says big protest in Paris in every city in France since last Thursday, which is wild. And it's actually further back than that, actually. The French want to kick out Macron. Lots of live videos all over TikTok and social media. So like at this point, I don't know who Macron is. And I'm definitely not just going to jump into TikTok and social media in terms of like figuring it out. Then she sends me more imagery. I'm like, okay, I want to know what's going on. I don't just want like videos. I want to know what's happening, right? So I go a little step further. And I go into the thread again. I say, can anybody tell me what this is all about? And I actually get somebody, this person, Nimna. Okay. So they speak French. Okay. So I had to translate. So it's never like an exact translation, but it's good enough. We don't want to work 2 more years to bail out the state coffers because we are currently contributing to today's retirees. This is the principle of distribution in France, but the money can be found elsewhere. It's a whole 40 years. Only the working class pays. I'm like, okay, like I want to find out more. Then another person comments. They say it's about the increase in the pension age. The French aren't happy that it will go up to 65. Now, in my mind, I'm like, is that enough to really? Because I looked into that, and apparently their retiring age is going from 62 to 64. I'm like, is that really something to riot over? To be burning things up like we just saw in the past few images? I was like, I really don't understand that, right? So we jump back into it. I get another person. Now this person, they set off some alarm bells with me. They say it's more than that. Macron's government does not stop passing laws contrary to the interest of the people by using Article 49.3 of the Constitution. That is, without consulting Parliament. He does what he wants. And the last 49.3 was too much. Now, When I start hearing that, now I'm hearing another name. I'm hearing that name again. So I'm like, okay, so this guy's obviously in charge, this Macron guy, Macron. So now I'm like, what's 49.3? And just let me tell you.
The 49.3 allows a prime minister to push a bill through the National Assembly without a vote. The law is then considered adopted, although the opposition has 24 hours to call a vote of no confidence. If the motion gets approval from more than half of the Assembly, the bill is rejected and the government must resign. Opposition parties say they will request a no-confidence motion to be voted in the coming days. But in practice, the government rarely loses, as different political factions are loath to vote for rivals' motions. Only one no-confidence vote has ever been successful since the Constitution was established in 1958, and this one is unlikely to pass either, as most Conservative lawmakers are expected to side with the government. Even so, resorting to the 49.3 is a blow for Macron's government. It gives ammunition to the opposition and to trade unions who cast the reform as undemocratic. And with 2/3 of French people against the bill, it risks fueling public anger.
The 49.3 is the final straw. I mean, it's the embodiment of several weeks of authoritarianism and a denial of democracy.
This forced passage with the 49.3 is unbearable and we won't accept it.
Again, just in case you didn't catch that, okay? I just want to go a little deeper into it. March 16th marks the 100th time under France's Fifth Republic that executive chose to draw on special powers to force through an unpopular measure. President Macron used the article once in his first term, 2017 to 2022, and 11 times since the start of his second term in June 2022. Like, that means, like, that's 9 months ago. That means he's been using it every, like, what is that? Yeah, that's like, it's like he's been using it almost every other month or every month. Now, obviously, it's 11 times. Who knows why or when? But, you know, on average, it seems like he's using it every 30 to 40, maybe 50 days, which is absolutely wild. Now, again, now that I know who Macron is, now I'm starting to like learn a little bit. And then I find this guy. His name is Adrien Adekaz. He's an independent journalist. As you can see here, definitely give him a follow. His YouTube actually doesn't show any of the footage, although it really should. If anybody knows him, let him know. He needs to throw this up on YouTube. But he's been posting it all over Twitter. If you want to see a play-by-play of what's going on in France, this guy is definitely somebody to hit up. Give him a follow. Basically, he's just been showing imagery after imagery. Again, trigger warning to anybody who's not into this type of thing. This is yesterday, March 23rd. March 23rd. This is also from March 23rd. I mean, these guys are going through it. They're getting gassed. They're getting beat. They're having clashes with the law constantly. Like, this is wild what's going on. That's him. He's dealing with a lot of wild imagery. I don't want to show you guys too much. Again, I'm trying to give people trigger warnings and whatnot. Just wild stuff, wild stuff. So I've been following him play by play for the past 24 hours, just seeing what he's going through. He all of a sudden just went completely silent. He went completely silent. I don't know what that means. I don't want to assume the worst. Like, I mean, maybe he just had enough of the protests. I'm sure it's not like this every single place you go. But yeah, just absolutely wild what's going on. Now, you got to go back to what was said before. I always like to think about things, right? So somebody said something before. What did this person say? They said the French people have had enough of the WEF BS. Again, What are you talking about? I didn't see anything that was WEF for the most part, right? But then I started looking into Macron, whatever he's called, Emmanuel, that's his first name, the president of France. I started looking into him, and I was like, okay, well, now that I have access to this site, let me check him out on the Young Global Leaders. I type his name in. Let me go over here. I type his name in here. I just put in the first name, and here he comes up like a friggin' mugshot, man. Like a mugshot. And just so you can verify, this is the Young Global Leaders website. Again, I'll show you. This is exactly where I looked up Tulsi. Forum of the Young Global Leaders community, innovators, diverse background experiences, search for current members and alumni. So this is the Young Global Leaders website. This is where you find anybody who would be a young global leader. And there he is. There he is. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. And also he had this to say.
We are in a jungle and we have two big elephants trying to become more and more nervous. If they become very nervous and start war, it will be a big problem for the rest of the jungle. You need cooperation of a lot of other animals. Tigers, monkeys, and so on. Are you on the US or the Chinese side? Because now, progressively, a lot of people would like to see there are two orders in this world. This is a huge mistake, even for both the US and China. We need a single global order.
I can't say I'm surprised anymore. Another guy whose country is going up in flames, calling for a one world government. Surprise, surprise. I'm not shocked at all. Another person that is a part of the WEF who is making their agenda come true step by step by step, even by using what we both know now as 49.3 in order to just push things through. So he doesn't consult with Parliament, but he consults with the WEF. Just dangerous, just a dangerous person. And the thing about it is, I want to ask the question, like, how long are we going to I want to use my words carefully. How long is this going to be okay? Right? I know from the imagery that I've been showing you, in France, it's not okay anymore. Right? It's not okay for those people anymore. They're showing themselves. They're not putting up with it anymore. And you know what? Like, straight up applause to them. I said before that you should follow that independent journalist just so you can see what's going on, because we should be seeing what's going on, and we should know why it's going on. It's not just that they're upset about some age being increased in terms of retiring. It's because the person who's in charge repeatedly goes against their interests, repeatedly skirts the government system that they have in place, and just chooses to do whatever he wants. And obviously, you can see what he's a part of. He's not just doing what he wants, he's doing what the WEF wants in terms of their agenda. He's executing their agenda. He's pushing it forward in that part of the world, inch by inch, bit by bit. It's absolutely wild. So, I can't say I'm surprised anymore, but it sucks. It sucks. Emmanuel Macron. You know, I posted a video just recently of Joe Rogan and Jorge Masvidal talking about, you know, the creeping in of socialism and everything bit by bit in America. And it's just like, man, I don't want to say too much, but it's wild. And I guess I'll just go back to this. Right now, Paris is on fire. They're on fire, and they do seem to be tired of the WEF BS. And you know what? So am I. It's just, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to bring you guys that information. I just wanted to show what's going on in this part of the world, because it went way past just sparking my interest, and it made me very alarmed. And I actually contacted that independent journalist to see if he's all right. I'm just going to end it. I just wanted to show you guys that is the France connection to the WEF. The direct connection is this Emmanuel Macron gentleman. And I hope the people's interest, Illuminati trying to stop me. I hope the people's interests are what reigns supreme in that situation. And, you know, I pray to God, I pray to Jesus, I pray that they're okay and that things turn out all right over there. Because right now they're going through it. Right this second, there are people in the streets with masks on. They're getting beaten with batons. There's fires being lit. Right now that's happening. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. We're at 31,000 subscribers. Our new goal is 35,000 subscribers. And every subscriber helps. If you want to be a researcher for me, I need help doing this type of stuff. I need help researching. I want to put out more content. I would like to aggressively put out content every single day. I need help researching. If you're an editor, I need help editing. I'm trying to form some kind of team so I can just like really start pumping stuff out. But other than that, I'm out. Pray for France. Pray for France, man.
Macron nous fait la guerre et sa police aussi, mais on reste des terres pour bloquer